Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, it's your girl B, and I am back after a 2-month hiatus. So this video is about how I am coming back. I'm fighting to get my creativity back every day, my motivation, and I just want to tell you guys what I've been doing for the last 2 months. And maybe some tips about how you can get your creativity back too if it has dwindled, or if you have lost it, or if you are just exhausted from our black and brown people being killed, this pandemic, wearing a mask, forgetting the mask in the car and you can't get in the store, etc., etc. So before we get into all of that, please, if you haven't already, subscribe. You can tap that bell in the corner so that you can get alerts for all new videos, because they'll be coming at you fast. And let's get right into it. So for the past 2 months, I have literally been just trying to figure out my life as a micro-influencer, my life as a YouTuber, creating content, what it is that I want to do. So let me just start from the beginning with the fact that we're living in a whole pandemic. That's first. And just being a nurse and having to be on the front lines with that. Even though I work in pediatrics, we see a lot of children that are testing positive, and some of them, even though I work in surgery, they still have to get surgeries if it's emergent. So it is still a thing, even though I don't work in the adult setting. So with that being said, that's just a lot just to start with. And the new protocols, everything changing at work every other day. Wearing a mask all day, having, headaches from wearing a mask all day. All of that stuff is just a lot in itself. Not to mention the fact that our black and brown bodies are still being killed with no remorse, no justice. And it's hard and very heartbreaking to see that on a grand scale, on TV, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you have a platform where you can watch a video or you can see something. We're seeing people be killed by white people on national television, and it is disheartening. And it has really played on my mental health, and it just really kind of like took my motivation away, right? And then having to be quarantined and everything is shut down and you can't really go anywhere or escape anything. It has been just a crazy time. And by this time I would have already been on 2 trips if we were able to fly, but we can't. So I was supposed to go to Houston for my birthday. That was in April. That didn't happen. I was supposed to go to Spain in May. That didn't happen. And so traveling and doing those kind of things really helped me to balance out my mental health, as well as doing things like journaling and maybe meditating or things like that. But I really didn't have the motivation to do anything at all. It completely left my body, and I didn't know why. And I talked to some of my friends and they were all feeling the same way, and I was just trying to figure out what do I do? What do I do? So I told myself, you know what? Maybe this is rest time for you, because along with all of those things that's happening, you guys know that I'm in school, but I ended up having to take the summer off because my clinical got canceled because of COVID. And so for me, I think, and I had a real talk with my future husband, child, and I talked to him, and he just explained to me that I'm someone who always is on the go. I always have stuff to do. I always have things planned, stuff like that. So I'm always working. I'm in school. I'm studying. I'm creating content. I'm doing all of that. And sometimes when you take that away from a person because they are conditioned to hustle and conditioned to be on the go all the time, it's hard for them to not do nothing at all. And as crazy as that sounds, I find purpose when I have stuff to do, right? So for me, it just was like, I don't got nothing to do. I don't have nothing to hustle for. I don't got nothing to study for. I don't have nothing to read for. I don't have anything. And we're not going out. I wasn't creating any content, which is one of my outlets. I just didn't know what to do. So I let myself rest, because at this point I just was like, I don't know what to do. And I stopped working out. I was just eating whatever I wanted to, and even though I really eat crazy, my body was just responding to all the stuff that I was doing that was out of my norm. So a couple weeks ago, I decided, you know what, we're going to figure out how to get our motivation back. We are going to figure out what we can do. And I did some great things over these last couple of months. So it's not all negative. Me and my girlfriends just started a book club, a virtual book club, and we read 2 books. One of them is 32 Candles, which was amazing. The other one was Relationship Goals by Pastor Michael Todd, and that was awesome. I have spent some much needed time with my future husband. Love him so much. And I have gotten to see some of my friends once everything started opening back up, going to drive-through parties, and I got to see my family finally, because my family doesn't live here. So those are all things that really spoke to my heart and really just helped me to continue to get my motivation back, right? I strengthened my relationship with God, reading my Bible, doing my devotionals every day. And then I had a talk with my best friend, and she said, you know what, girl, I don't care if you got to draw stick figures every day. Do something every day until something comes out of it that makes you feel great. And today was that day. I woke up after I slept in and got some great sleep. I put my workout clothes on. I went for a 3-mile run, had a great conversation with my mom and my sister, made my shake. I recorded another vlog, a skincare vlog, and now I'm here talking to you guys. So I don't want this to be like a super talky video, but I think that that's what it's going to be. So just bear with me. So how am I getting my creativity back? Well, aside from the tip of, oh, you need to be drawing stick figures every day. I did not do that, by the way. It just was funny, and I got what she was saying. So I just did things that make me happy, right? Reading. I love to leisure read. I'm not an auto books girl at all. I love to feel the pages. And so I did that, right? I rested, I slept in, I did all of those things. And, today I got back to what I'm used to, which is doing a little workout, talking to my family, talking to my friends, things like that. So that made me feel awesome. But some other things that I love to do that I wasn't doing was journaling, right? I used to write down my prayers or just my thoughts. And then I would use my 5-minute journal to do my gratitude every day and every night. I had stopped doing that, but I recently started back, and that has made me feel great. It's really spoke to my soul. So I will link the 5-minute journal in the description box, because I recommend everybody to get it. It's awesome. And then I had to really figure out about my why. Most times when you lose your creativity and you lose your motivation, you try to figure out why you started in the first place. And so I had to go back to why I started wanting to create content, why I started wanting to share my story and my journey with people. And what I came up with is that I've always wanted to share my story with the masses or the public, because I don't like that people make these videos and YouTube vlogs and stuff like that to make it seem like everything is always great and everything is always happy, and that when you make the decision to be an entrepreneur, that is easy and you start to make money in 30 days. That's all that is BS, and so I wanted to share my nursing school journey with you guys, how I struggled through that, but I still made it. How, I went back to school to get my BSN, and I struggled through that and had a difference in, changing jobs and all of that stuff, how I leveled up, how I did that. I still had some struggles as an adult, confronting my traumas head on, and finally starting therapy and doing all of that stuff. I want to share that kind of stuff, because even though we always want to highlight the great things that happen in our life, I think it sends a messed up message when that's all you share, because it's not always happy days. It's not always everything went right this day. I plan to do everything on my to-do list and I knocked them all out. It's not always that. And so I wanted to create a balance where there's good, there's also bad. But with the bad, how do we get through it? We don't want to stay there. We want to keep it moving. And so that's why I started this journey of vlogging, becoming an influencer, a micro-influencer on Instagram, starting a blog, doing all that, travel blogging, all of that stuff. I wanted to do all that. Going to different restaurants, trying food. I know it's hard to do that right now, so what I'm doing is I'm trying new recipes. If I can't go to somebody's restaurant and eat, I'm going to try my own recipes. So those are all the things that I had to think about. And then I realized that me not doing anything at all, not journaling, not meditating, not creating content, and just going to work and being in that stressful environment and having to come home and do it all over again, that I don't have an outlet. So now I'm super stressed, I'm snappy, I'm angry sometimes, and I don't really know why. And it's because that work is overwhelming. We're short-staffed where I work at, and this COVID thing is still a thing. Everybody's trying to be super safe, not take this home to their family. And so I had to figure out how to get back to me, how to get back to my core, my beliefs, and start doing what I love to do again. And that is talking to you guys, helping you guys learn. We learn together, sharing my journey so that somebody will be able to use my story to either level up or not make the same mistakes that I have in the past, because I just want everybody to be great. So that is what I've been doing. So, a few tips I can share with you guys, and then this will be the intro. This is my intro video to me being on hiatus for the last 2 months. My first tip would be to figure out why you guys started doing whatever you were doing. Whether it's, creating, drawing, making logos, making YouTube videos, doing a podcast or something like that, your website, building websites, reading books, writing a book, whatever it is, figure out and focus on why it is that you started, right? Why did you start? Is what you started worth fighting for? For me, that's my second tip. Ask yourself, is this worth fighting for? Is this something that I can put my 100% effort into? Or is this something I should let go and do something else, right? So for me, this isn't something I want to give up, right? I love you guys. I love my audience. I love my community. I love my support system. So I didn't want to give that up. And it wasn't just about my community and the things that I've gained since I started doing YouTube, or since I started creating content on Instagram. It was about the way it made me feel. So I can be with you guys and be transparent and help you guys and share my journey. It was about how it made me feel. So I know that I wanted to make myself feel that way again, and I wanted to be able to continue communicating digitally with my community that I have built. So that, for me, answered that question. For everybody else, it may not be the same. You might say, hey, let's sever ties and keep it moving, and I'm gonna figure out what else makes me happy and do that, and that's okay. Another thing, I think that give yourself grace, right? For me, I was all upset because I wasn't in school, so I had to take the summer off. Now I was graduated 3 months late, and then I didn't want to do this, and I was eating just crazy, and I'm not working out anymore. I was just in a rut. And so for the third tip, I would say is just kind of pick yourself up, but give yourself grace as well. I'm always on the go. So it was time for me to rest, and it was time for me to have a break. Was I taking it well? No, not at the beginning. But eventually, I was like, you know what? You need to rest. You need to give yourself grace, and you need to give yourself time for things to redevelop. And so that's what I did. And it took me 2 months, but I'm back and I'm here. So like I said, the first tip, go back to the beginning. Why did you start in the first place? What about this makes you happy? What about creating whatever it is that you create makes you happy? Go back to your why and then work your way up. 2, Is this something that you want to salvage? Is this something that you want to give your 100% effort to? Do you think you have 100% effort to give, to continue? Ask yourself that question. Third, pick yourself up, but give yourself grace. That is what I have done. This is not a video that gets all technical about the steps or whatever the case may be. So I hope that these 3 tips you guys can use and take with you. And I'm looking forward to continuing to sharing my journey with you guys and being here with the community, influencing. You know, I'm looking forward to all of that. Creating content, I'm looking forward to doing all of that again because it makes me feel good. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for still subscribing, liking the videos, watching the videos, and all that stuff while I've been away. That speaks volumes to me, and it really makes my heart feel just so big. So I just want to thank you guys for that. So I'm going to try to start slow. I know that before I was trying to do 2 videos a week. I think I put too much on myself trying to do that. So I'm just going to do videos once a week now. I'm not sure what day it's going to be, but once a week you will have a new vlog. So be expecting that. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. Share with your friends, share with your coworkers, share with everybody, your family. If you're in the house, share with them too. It would just make me feel great if you did. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, love you guys. See you later.